Welcome, everyone. I am Nadia Lutz, and we're going to talk about stress-proofing the holidays. Not only with Solex, we're going to start with energetic things and talk about trapped emotions. I know Tiffany did a great job talking about emotions that are trapped a couple weeks ago. And so we're just going to dive a little bit deeper and give you some strategies on how to cope and some things that you may not even be thinking of that may be causing issues in the holidays. And then we'll dive into the scanner and what we can do with the scanner with what we just learned. So I hope you'll be able to get a lot out of it. And it's interactive, as I mentioned. So I'm going to be asking for feedback, okay? So has anyone during the holidays ever felt overwhelmed? And I should probably say, has anyone not felt overwhelmed, right? That'd be a better question. How about overcommitted? Yeah, only two? I know I have. Overstimulated, just too much. You just want to keep in your jammies and not go out. How about you're overly responsible for others people's emotions or situations? Like you have to control everything that happens around a table. Anyone guilty of that? I am. Maybe, kind
A
of.
little bit.
Just a little bit. All right. So holiday stress is pretty simple. It can be adrenal overload, and that's like cortisol. Too much cortisol going on, stress, and it's just like this cycle. It can cause our nervous system to be dysregulated, and that causes inflammation. That usually causes us not to breathe deeply. So we have this shallow breathing, and that shallow breathing continues the whole cycle on the little rat race going around, right? And then we also have blood sugar instability because we're eating different foods usually during the holidays. We're kind of going outside of our normal ones. And then we have emotional residue from lots of things, lots of triggers and everything. That's primarily what we're going to dive into. Um, but this whole exercise is about we get to choose how we react to people and situations. We have that power. First, we sort of have to identify what are the triggers, what are the emotions. But keep in mind that all of these things are frequency patterns. And if stress is a frequency pattern, then we have the tools to interrupt it and to make a change, to dissolve it and redirect it. So that's pretty exciting. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to think about a stressful holiday situation you had. It can be this past one that you had or a while ago. I'd like you to take out your paper and think about all the emotions that go into it and list 5 emotions that you frequently have during holidays when you get stressed out. So just go ahead and list them. And if you're feeling brave, put a couple in the chat, okay? I'm going to put some in. For me, it's overwhelm, anxiety, grief, overwhelm, anxiety, obligated. Those are good ones. Overspending, regret, fear. Yeah, a lot of us we have fear and anxiety, right? Those are the two big ones. And we know, I mean, we're all in this work. We know what happens if we lead with fear and anxiety. Anyone? What happens? What signals are we sending out? We're sending out fear and anxiety, right? So what are we going to attract?
More.
More fear and anxiety, right? So that's something for us to really keep in mind. Not only do our words matter, but our thoughts matter. When we get anxious about things, when we get stressed about things, um, everyone around us senses it. We don't know it, but sometimes we don't even identify that we're stressed out. But people know when we're stressed and we're anxious and we have fear, And then what happens to them?
They do
They
the
get
same.
it, right? They have that anxiety. They don't know why you have anxiety, and it becomes this cycle. Exhaustion, anxiety. Yeah. Okay. So, yes, they mirror it, Donna. Right. What triggers this? Can you write that down? Write it down on your paper because we're going to come back to this. So make sure you're writing these. I want you to share in the chat, but I also want you to write it down on the paper because we're going to do something with these later. So what triggers this? So for me, it is conflict. Yep. For me, it can be worrying about what's going to happen. Okay, what events? Be specific. What events trigger it? Blaming. Yep. Expectations, holiday parties. Yep. Yeah. For me, I'm just anticipating the shoe to drop, right? Worrying about other people's happiness. Yep. Conflict, family patterns, behaviors. Yep. Anticipation, mother's anger. Those are all good ones. Noise. Yeah, too much stimulation can be a big one, right? And on all accounts, for sure. Okay, so who modeled this for us? Because this is learned, right? Where do we first learn this? Yeah, for me, it's my whole family. Mom, dad, grandparents. It was parents' family. Only when other families celebrate. Yeah. Okay, so it was modeled for us. We know what happens when we stay in this cycle. What are the payoffs for staying in this cycle? What's going to happen if we stay in this cycle?
It's just going to get worse. It's just going to snowball.
It's going to snowball. It's going to keep going. What else? What about our kids? Are they going to be able to get out of the cycle?
It's going to be generational.
It's just that generational thing is just going to keep going. Yeah, it feels familiar. So our brain goes to it, right? Connie said it feels familiar. So our brain wants what's familiar. And we get to be the people that break the cycle. We get to be the ones. Aren't we lucky? Build up fear, perfectionism. Yeah, keeping the peace. Oh my goodness, keeping the peace. You know, my father and my grandparents used to pride themselves on telling me that I was the diplomat of the family at 5. It's like, I was the good girl. I was a people pleaser. It's like, that's not a good thing at 5, right? Mm. What's the cost to ourselves? What's the
Well,
cost of
for me,
staying
it
in it?
creates exhaustion and it wears my health down.
Yes. Yeah, Teresa says the same thing. Exhaustion, health. Um, we're just in that constant fight or flight, stress. It feels hopeless, right?
Mhm.
Hopeless, helpless, all of those things. So our goal of this was to recognize those home frequencies. Like Connie said, it feels familiar. So that we can what? We can disrupt it.
Mhm.
We can disrupt it before it gets into that, like kind of like that OCD thing that happens in holidays, and you find yourself like running around being busy and doing everything and trying to make everything look perfect. We get to interrupt it before we get to that stage. So keep this handy. Now we know that words, thoughts, and emotions matter, right? We're here. This is from Dr. Emoto. I'm sure most of us know this. I'm just going to give a brief explanation of what he did. He was a Japanese teacher and researcher, and he had this method where he took a drop of water and, well, first he took a glass of water and he either taped words to them or he said words to them. When he repeated these experiments in Japanese schools with elementary kids and they taped words on them. So they taped a word of love onto the glass of water. Then they took a pipette and one drop and they flash froze it. And then they looked at it under a microscope. And we see what happens with love and thank you. And then I hate you is blobbish. It's not a formed crystalline. You fool is not formed. Thank you. So the positive words had these amazing crystalline structures. And the negative words had, they just weren't formed. And what a powerful message to teach elementary school children how words matter. So if we're living in fear and anxiety, what's that doing to the 75% water and blood in our body?
Making a big mess.
Making a big old mess, right? A big old mess. So again, we get to be the disruptors. We get to be the ones that change. And we have frequencies that can help us, right? We can use our inner voice and our body systems to help us with our trapped emotions. Does everyone have their inner voice or body systems? So I love it, body systems. I love body systems because it deals with emotions. So if you have body systems, your scan, I want you to go through and kind of just look at the emotions. And let's see if we have a common theme here. Okay, we have perfectionism, irresponsible, stress, anxiety, stubborn, inflexible, fear, self-esteem, selfish, shy, stress, fear again. So stress and fear are repetitive so far. Depression. So for this person so far, it would be stress and fear. There's another stress, fear, stress. Okay, tell me some things that are showing up in your skin. You can use inner voice or you can use body systems to do this. Does everyone have a scan handy, or some people don't have it?
Should we be typing or talking?
Both. Do it all. Suppressed emotions, social conflict. Okay, so you can either take an emotion from your scan, fear of the battle happen, nervous exhaustion, uncertain about love, rejection, discouraged. Or you can take one of the 5 emotions that you wrote down in the beginning. For someone who just joined, we just asked to name 5 emotions that may show up in the holidays. Okay, so does everyone have one? Yeah. So this is what we're going to do. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and I'm going to walk you through this. And I know you want to write it down, but I want you to feel it in your body. So after you close your eyes and I walk you through this, I'll walk you through it again with your eyes open and then you can write it down so you remember it, okay? So let's just be present and close your eyes. Think about that one emotion that you do not want to have anymore at the holidays. I want you to name it in your head. And I want you to scan your body with your eyes closed. Notice where you feel it. Do you feel it in your throat or your heart, your shoulders, your neck, your gut? Where you feel it? Maybe everywhere. Keep scanning, see if you find any other spots where you feel it. Now I want you to breathe into it. I want you to take a breathe in the nose and out the nose, and I want you to feel it dissolve. I just want you to send it love. Send the opposite of whatever the word is. Love is always a good one, inner peace. So you're breathing in and you're just sending love to that area or some sort of positive emotion. I want you to ask yourself, if this emotion could speak what one sentence, what would it say? And then ask yourself, what does the emotion want you to know? Keep breathing into it. Okay, good. You can open your eyes. So first I have you name it. If you want to write down, you can write what you wrote down. And then I had you locate it. Feel free to write that down. And then we're breathing into it. Now we're going to repeat this exercise later, and we're going to use a scanner as well. But first I want you to feel what it feels like. And then I asked if it could speak one sentence, what would it say to you? And then what does the emotion want you to know? Because these unresolved emotional things, they drive that stress response, which is what we're trying to break that pattern. Anyone want to share what they felt? I always feel mine in my throat. So for me, it was like shame and it was in the throat. You can unmute and share if you'd like.
Mine was fear of failure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt it like in my heart and shoulders. And then I breathed in that I have been successful and that you can imagine being successful where you are.
Could you flip that script? I have been as past.
I am successful. The store just had its year anniversary and we're still open, so that's good.
That is great. You're thriving.
Yeah.
Throat, heart, grief. Pay attention. You can love yourself. Throat, solar plexus. Verna, you felt in your liver, you said? What does that feel like in the liver? Like just congestion or? Oh, you're muted.
It just felt like kind of a lump or a knot in that area.
Mm,
Maybe it wasn't quite liver, maybe it was more bowel. I don't know, on that side anyway.
over there.
And
Interesting.
the message that came was it's okay to it's safe to let it go.
Yay. Bye-bye. That's interesting. Read lungs and feet.
I thought it was really weird.
Well, no, not with what you've been going through. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you able to breathe into it at all? Let it go?
Yeah, really great.
Good. Good, good, good.
I had it here, like in my, I have an apron on right now, but it's kind of like, not quite the top of my stomach, but it's kind of like,
Your sternum?
yeah, that's it. Like
Sounds
it just,
like.
it just gets really like pushed in, kind of,
Mhm.
like it's like like this,
Mhm.
So
Were you able to release it at all?
that's what my thinking brain came in and I couldn't find a release.
Okay.
But the negative words were, I have enough. I can't do anymore.
Mm. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, our thinking brain can override us when we try to feel these emotions, right? Because sometimes it doesn't feel safe, right? We don't, because I don't want to feel these things. right? And so when you talk to your brain about feeling these things, you're like, are you crazy? We're trying to avoid this. We don't want to feel it. So sometimes that thinking brain does get in the way. Um, yeah, let's see if using frequencies will help. Okay, so holiday stressors also are about life experiences. Tiffany talked a lot about trapped emotions and the whole family lineage thing. Childhood patterns, shared patterns, absorbed patterns, emotional patterns, mental patterns, past traumas, triggers. This kind of all gets wrapped up in the holidays, right?
Mm.
So this can add to everything. One thing I like to do is before, I don't do it anymore, but I used to put this in to a group. And if I wanted to identify which areas I needed to work on in quantum reach or something like that, you can put this into a category and it will scan and it will tell you which areas that would be good for you to work on. So that's just something if you have a lot of things and you're not comfortable with diagnosing and kind of experiencing which area would be good for you to work on. For instance, I'll give you an example of that. So one time a childhood pattern came up when I did my scan, and I'm like, okay, I'm not really I didn't identify with that. And then I went to my inner voice and I looked at the emotions. And one of them was about not being able to speak my mind. And just reading that, having the childhood pattern in my mind and then reading that on inner voice, I was like, oh, okay, that's what I get to work on. So now what I would do is that when I listen to my voice, my inner voice, that would be in my mind to release all childhood patterns around not being able to speak the truth. So you can use this to kind of get a little bit deeper in mind sync and inner voice. And even when you play your frequencies and run your playlist, because maybe you need to send your, let's just take lungs. Maybe you develop this short breathing pattern from a childhood pattern. And maybe you need to think about that when you're running the playlist to have a better effect. Because if you can eliminate some of these life experiences, then when you play that playlist, it'll be really powerful. Does that make sense? It's just another way to kind of go a little bit deeper. All right, 3 truths that can change your holidays. You're not going to change others, so stop trying. Who's been guilty of that one? No one, just me? And you can't control what others will do or say. So why do we have expectations about it? Why do we get stressed about it? Why do we get anxious about it? I should say I. Why do I get stressed about it? We can't control it. The one thing you can control is how you react to what someone does or says. And I can guarantee that whether you have a stressful holiday or not depends on how your nervous system is. Because if your nervous system is dysregulated, do you think you're going to have a loving, connected holiday? It's going to be not as likely, right? So you can control your nervous system. We've had so many things about this, right? We do nostril breathing and grounding and playlists and all that. We did a huge one in Vegas Nerve. It's in the Facebook group if you want to look at it. So you can control how you react to what someone does or says. I feel like we should have that on all the mirrors in our house during the holidays. It's just like for everyone, not just us, right? If everyone plays by that rule, things would be a lot better. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the truths that we avoid. Those are the ones that feel dangerous to admit because they actually require us to change and be accountable. Sometimes it affects visibility. So I'm going to read a few out. If you can identify, go ahead, throw them in the chat. You can write some down on your paper as well. I'm exhausted. I want more than what I've allowed myself to have. I'm scared of failing. I'm scared of succeeding. I've been pretending everything is okay. I don't feel fulfilled in my relationships. I stay busy so I don't have to deal with myself or others. I want deeper connection, or maybe I'm scared of deeper connection. I don't trust myself. I don't trust others. I'm lonely. I keep choosing comfort instead of courage. I'm still hurt by something I pretend doesn't matter. I've been hiding who I really am. It's not safe to be who I really am. I'm afraid I'm not enough. I'm afraid others will see the real me and reject me. I'm waiting for permission to live. Can anyone relate to any of those? Yeah, I'm afraid things will never get better. Yeah, when we're kind of in that area where things just keep happening to us, that can be a really common one. Or someone who is pretty sick, that can be a common one as well. Anyone have any other ones that aren't on the list that they want to share?
I resonated with all of them, but I think I'm afraid others will see the real me and reject me. Big one.
Yeah. Do you remember when you first started feeling that way?
I was very young, maybe 5 or 6, or I don't know, somewhere young.
Yeah. I think that's a really common one, especially for women, right? Whether it's our families or our school or our church, it's like we had to fit into a mold. I think most people have that. Scared of losing someone over conflict. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you on that one. Me too.
Actually, yeah, something along those lines was that just came up recently for me was I remember being not silenced, but just say, be quiet, you're just too loud.
Yes.
Or why are you so excited? Or why are you so passionate?
Mm-hmm.
And it just really put a dampen. I still remember the voice, and that was what, 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, too
I think,
loud, too much.
yeah, yeah, too exuberant. And yeah. So I think in some ways it muzzled me. That was the beginning of the muzzling.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
yeah, it is very interesting. It came back up just recently.
Yeah. Lisa, you want to share more about I hate being nice to bullies?
Just going through emotion code, like getting through holidays and then
Oh, that's how you keep the peace at home. Yeah. Yeah, I have definitely done that. Okay. So let's shift to the positive. Now we're down in the dumps, right? So if we go back to Emoto's experiment, we have the ability to change. We have the ability to use not only our words, but our frequency scanner, right? We can clear the energy with energetic clearing. We can use any of these words. We can use any of the words in quantum reach there is. So if you go back to that list of the name it, locate it, breathe into it one, pick one of the negative emotions. If you didn't clear that one completely, let's do that one again. If you want to do a different one, you can do that one. We'll do it the same way. I'll have you close your eyes and breathe into it. If it's in quantum reach, the positive emotion, if you want to go ahead and play that, go ahead and do it so you can magnify it. So for instance, if you had fear and you want to put, let's say I had fear in my throat and I wanted to put love into my throat, I would go to quantum reach right now with my name at the top and I would play love while I'm doing this exercise. So I'll give you a moment to do that. And that would look, if you're new, let me do it this way, okay? Go down, I'll show you. We're going to click on quantum reach. And we're going to go to love. And I am going to do a broadcast. I have my tab muted. We don't have to do that. Okay, are you ready? So let's close our eyes again. This time we are going to name the negative emotion briefly, locate where it is, see if it's changed, possibly it's changed. Now think of the positive word that you are using the scanner for. And if you're not, that's okay. You can just think of the word. For me, it's love. So I am going to send love to my throat and I'm going to breathe into it. You do whatever you're doing. So we're breathing in the nose and out. And I like to visualize whatever I'm doing. So for me, it's just like this knot. Someone said knot. I'm just going to untie the knot and release it, whatever it feels like, whether it's a lump or a knot or a congestion. Just send love to it, send whatever you're sending to it, and imagine it dissolving. And really try to breathe deep in the nose, out the nose to try to release it. So as you breathe into it, now we're asking if this positive emotion could speak one sentence, what would it say? And what does the positive emotion want you to know? Try to relax your shoulders and your jaw. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. How did that feel? Did that feel better? Mine dissolved a little bit more. Anyone else's?
It's a bit more for me to work on.
Do you have more? Yeah. Keep in mind, these things are like if we think of that lump like an onion, we're just peeling back the layers, right? And so if you have more for it to work on, it's probably more emotions in there than just the first one. I saw you went into a coughing fit. Yes, I heard I'm as near as your next breath. Ooh, I like that one. Are you okay, Teresa? You're muted. Oops. You're muted, Teresa. I have more space around this now. Thank you. All right. When you unmute, just talk, Teresa. If you can unmute, I'll keep
I'm
going.
okay. It just stuff was coming out, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's good. It's better out than in, right?
Yep, exactly.
So we can do the same thing with quantum affirmations. Now, I don't really know why Solex does this because to me, they're not really affirmations, some of these, right? I know they work though. I've used them. It's just the name of it on some things. For instance, if you're having anxiety, um, you could take with my phone, pretend like this is on my phone. I have anxiety. And I have anxiety during the holidays. I could literally, it feels in my throat because that's where I feel a lot of things. I could literally go like this while it playing, and I can really feel it dissolve when I do that. So I really like to do this. Before I went at DOD, I presented. Before I did that, I played self-confidence, self-esteem. And I did the same thing right to my throat because it was my voice I wanted people to hear, right? I didn't want to be nervous and things like that. So I love using quantum affirmations this way. And it can really help with that mastering stress. And it works great on insomnia. If you're like sitting there staring at a fan and you can't get to sleep, go ahead and try this. Put on insomnia and put it all around your head to get rid of those like intrusive thoughts or the repetitive thoughts that sometimes come up when we do have insomnia. I love that for that one. Okay, and it's not going to be a presentation unless I remind you to hydrate, right? You want to increase your minerals, especially magnesium electrolytes, protein, fiber. That's going to stabilize your cortisol a little bit. It'll help with your digestion, which is directly tied to the gut. Sugar and stimulants are going to increase inflammation.
Nope, 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 nope,
I'm like, who is
nope.
saying no? If you can mute yourself, whoever's saying no, that'd be great. 5 to 10 minutes at least grounding would be great. Prioritizing sleep. Oh, it says midnight. That should be like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And then during the holidays, simplify commitments and expectations. Say no whenever you can. I feel like we just say yes to everything that comes along. I'm giving you permission to say no. I'm so sorry I can't do that right now. Prioritize yourself because no one else is going to, right? If you don't take care of yourself, no one else is going to. Okay, so we have our essential oils that we can use on our scanner. And if we use the same format that we've been using, so for instance, lavender, I think most of us know that that's like helps with the stress response, right? So we can use the same thing. We can go down to lavender. Did anyone feel stress anywhere
In my throat.
in your throat?
Mm-hmm.
Who said that?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, Verna. Okay. Put lavender on.
Okay.
See if you can do that. And it's the same thing, right? Like put lavender on and you would go like this. And if you have actual lavender, you could put it on with some carrier and then infuse it in. So you can do this with essential oils as well. Frankincense is so good for grounding the nervous system. So that's fabulous. You can put some drops on the bottom of your feet, wrists, back of neck, chest, can diffuse it. Calm, sleep support, cedarwood. Peppermint, fabulous for overwhelm and mental fatigue. And then we have our quantum flowers. So has anyone used Rescue Remedy?
Yes.
This is my secret weapon in holidays.
Yeah.
One day, not this year, the year before last, we made cocktails and it had a Rescue Remedy on top of it. That was like, we had like a little orange and a little Rescue Remedy. We had a mocktail. So I love Rescue Remedy, and this is how you make it on the scanner. It's so easy. So, so easy. You can infuse it into your food. You can infuse it into your drinks, your water. So sometimes it's nice just to have this little cheat sheet here. If you have mental spiraling, I would reach for white chestnut, fatigue, wild rose, boundaries. Anyone have boundary issues over the holidays? Yeah. Walnut's great for that. And cell salts. So when our nervous system gets into overdrive, we burn through cell salts very quickly. So I would highly recommend taking cell salts and making a playlist with cell salts and infusing that as well. So the cell salts fit in one playlist, which is awesome. And that will help your nervous system. It'll help your cranial nerves. It'll help everything.
Hey, Nadia, quick question. If
Mhm,
I were to infuse this in a glass of water
mhm.
for somebody, would I need to have that somebody in my contacts?
Nope. No, you
So
just
it could
come
be
down
under,
here.
it could just be under mine.
Sure. You're just going
Okay.
to imprint it. Yeah. If you're sending the frequencies to somebody, then their name has to be in it. Or you could have intention, but ideally their name is in it because it's going broadcasting or it's like you're fishing, you're
Right.
sending the frequencies to them. But when you're imprinting in water, that's not broadcasting, that's imprinting.
Okay, so it doesn't matter who's in the contacts.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Minerals
And
get depleted. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna tell you a story about the Bach flower remedies. I have a gentleman that's PTSD really bad,
Mhm.
and so his wife gave him the Bach flower remedies, and about 2 or 3 days in, he was like, "Oh, is that what normal people feel like?" So it was
Wow.
like he just felt the big difference. And I now have them for kids that are not in alcohol at the store.
Oh,
So that
nice.
works really well. Yeah.
What are
And it
they?
helps a lot. They're in glycerin
Okay.
by the same company, but they have a plain one and they have a strawberry one. So
That's fabulous. Yeah. I like imprinting them into anything really, right? If you're
Mhm.
taking gut, you're taking whatever, you can imprint the cell salts into anything, into powders,
Yeah.
into water, into anything. Yeah. Minerals really get depleted during the holidays, right? Not only are we, I mean, it has to do with a lot of things. Cortisol will just eat through these minerals. And we're under stress, and cortisol is just plays a big role. And we're not eating as healthy, right? We're going out, we're doing everything, so we're deficient physically in minerals as well. Yeah, you should imprint your Christmas lunch with everything. Love, inner peace, cell salts, minerals. Okay, here are some homeopathic remedies. Um, so you can keep this handy also. It's like, okay, you can compare this to body systems. You can compare this to inner voice if you're not good about identifying your own issues. A lot of healers, they're great at helping other people, but they're not self-aware about their own feelings, right? Uh, so this chart may help you. Oh yeah, it's like, oh, I do have nervous anticipation. I didn't think about that, right? Or I do have anxiety about control. This should just have my name on it right there during the holidays, right? I'm always on eggshells.
Much
It's
of my
like,
mom.
what if this person says this and then this happens and this happens? And then my mind is just like creating what happens. It's crazy. Okay, chakras. We can do a lot with chakras. Um, I love that. I'm going to skip forward. We have the vitals here that tells us which areas are off. And when I talk to people about chakras, I talk that this is your energy center, right? It doesn't have to be this woo-woo chakra word. And we can look for physical symptoms on the scanner. I love that they have this. And we can also look at the emotions around the chakras. Someone who's been strained by grief, right, needs some work on the heart. Someone, perfectionism, it's that solar plexus. Overwhelm, we've got the sacral. Any type of unsupported, unsafe, that goes to root. You know, someone who has had abuse, uh, usually root chakras will get triggered. Um, Spiritual fatigue or feeling isolated, that's like crown. So you can use this as well. And we have so many things we can do. So let's stick with fear. So we know fear, well, I know fear lives not only in root, but throat and heart as well. So close your eyes and notice where you feel it. Do you feel fear anywhere in your body? And if you need to change the word, change it to whatever. Okay. Can you put it in the chat where you felt it? Heart. Stomach, throat, chest. Okay, so heart. Heart's a big one. We can go to I was in the AO tunes. We can click on heart. we can come on down and we can either imprint into something or we can, well, I'm not letting me go down. I can broadcast to the heart with the intention of eliminating fear or grief. So when we add our intention, even if it's just in our head, it works. It works better, right? We can do organs that way. Now, we also have the ability in AO Tune, we can do the planetary chakras. So interesting that heart is grief and then the chakra is love, right? So when we play this, we are infusing the positive, just like we did with quantum reach. So we can use it that way as well. So I really like these AO tunes for getting rid of some of this stuff. And we have body systems. We talked about that one. So here's a great multicast intention. If you're not familiar with multicast, I'll put that back on in a second. It's in Cephi. It's towards the bottom. And this allows us to send frequencies to many, many people in your family or in your practice. You simply scan a flower, which will help with the emotions. We didn't even talk about that, but I'll talk about that next. And then you could literally take this and put the intention in here. And you can have up to 5 playlists playing. And when you press this button, it's running through the flower, through the intention, 5 playlists, and through the C sharp, which is identified for you. So this is something that I might put in, and feel free to change it, obviously. Add to it or change something, whatever you need. So let's talk about how the scanner can help us, right? We, most of us know now that when we go to Cephi, let's just say we want to do homeopathics, we can go by symptoms and we can look things up here. So there are a lot of emotions in here. There's adrenal fatigue, burnout. There is, every time I come in here, I see something. There's breathing difficulties. Even though this says children, it's not only for children. For anger, fear, grief, general, immune, nervous system. So let's stick with fear. These are the top 4 for fear. Now we can scan here. We can use the software to tell us which would be the best order for this person. So this is more information for us, right? If we wanted to, this would be the top one. We could imprint it and we can put that in a playlist. And that scan button is available in a lot of areas now, so it's really exciting. We can go to Quantum Reach and we can hit scan if we just want to take the guesswork out of it. And the software will then pain-free healing and stamina. And of course, we can override that and we could do love instead or do whatever you want. And remember, it's just, if you imprint it, I could hold my wrist over it and I'm imprinting love. I could hold a glass of water and I'm imprinting love. Anyone wants love right now, put their wrist up there, right to the screen. You can do it at a distance, right? This is how you do it at a distance, how you imprint something.
So Nadia, question.
Mhm.
Normally when you imprint something, you have to erase it first. Why don't you have to erase your wrist first?
You could.
But it works without erasing your wrist.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely could erase it. When you're doing your wrist, it's not as long term, right? It's just kind of a temporary thing.
Got it.
But yeah, if I was in an anxiety attack or something like that, I would definitely erase
Okay.
on the wrist, like get rid of that, right? Because all the pulse points are right there.
Okay.
So yes,
Thank
you
you.
could always erase for sure.
Hey Nadia, that was homeopathy, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the phone. I'm trying to follow on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can't see where the emotions, the symptoms are on the phone.
So go to
Okay, so
Ceph,
yep,
go to homeopathics,
yep,
and then right at the end it
yeah.
says by symptoms.
Yeah, I know I can do that but on the phone, where on earth is it?
I don't know. Try scrolling in. Maybe you're scrolled out too much. You'll have to go to the computer if you can't figure it out. But sometimes on my screen it gets so big and it doesn't show the bottom part of it or the side part of it. You have to pull it in.
Correct. If anybody has the original thing, please show me. It's,
What original thing?
well, you know, that the
What type of phone do you have? Because when I pull it up, it shows all four.
Yeah, mine does too.
Okay, so I go to Cephi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I go into near the bottom after multitask is energy homeoenergetics, correct?
No, homeopathy.
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh.
Homeopathy. Homeopathics.
It's on the right, the third one on the right.
That's why I didn't see it.
Okay, so the planetary frequencies, which I showed, you can take a picture of this if you want because I've highlighted kind of the things that might show up during the holidays, right? Strength, compassion, wisdom. And keep in mind all these things, they can be for you or for someone else in the room, right? And what else can we do? We can send it to a whole house, right? So if you're going to somewhere where you know there's going to be conflicts, send it to the whole house. So you could literally put it in there and send whatever you want to a house. Let's go and put love into the house. Actually, maybe love, forgiveness, gratitude would be good. And you just put a little broadcast on. Oh, I didn't change here. So we'll send it to a house. So that it works really well. So I would highly recommend that if you know you're going to have any type of confirmation. So what's one thing you're going to do regularly as a result of this training? Pop it in the chat. One committed action that you're going to do to help your stress, your anxiety around the holidays.
I'm gonna have a good look at my scans and then go from there and work through some of this stuff here.
That's great. Yeah, identify feelings. Breathe into it, ask it at once. Yeah. Close mouth and breathe in doubt. Those are free nitrics, yeah. Yes, send frequencies to the house or the car or imprint my water daily. That's what I desire. I love that. Just keep in mind, like you have to implement these things, right? You can't just come to these trainings because a plan without action is what? It's just a dream, right? So if we can do it, then we're going to have better benefits. Clear, shield, ground, use house as target, live with my 9-year-old parents. Yeah, that would be good. Yes, I can't control what other people do. We just all need to keep reminding ourselves of that one, right? Definitely.
So, quick question. Is it more effective to erase the wrist rather than the fingertips?
You could do either. Fingertips, I think of more breathing because on Chinese medicine you have the breathing and the brain are right here, whereas this is like blood, like you have all your pulse points going through there. But you can really do either one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh, you don't have to touch the screen on a computer. You can just hold your wrist right up to it, but you can if you want to. Implement, plan in action, rate things, have a challenge, do what I can do. Yes. Use my mindfulness exercise while scanning. Yeah. When we have intention, it's just more powerful, right?
Can I
It's
ask a
really,
question in
yeah, it's
terms of
really that simple.
application?
Just 1 second. And on that note, like, let's say you wanted to send love, forgiveness, and gratitude to a house. You could simply write on a piece of paper all the people that are going to be in the house and pop it on here. And then everyone will also get those in addition to the house. Go ahead, Felicia.
For Cephi dots,
Mhm.
I guess two questions. How long does the imprint last on the dot?
About 48 to 72 hours.
Okay. And can I take a picture of the dot as an object and then resend it?
Mhm.
Broadcast?
Re-imprint, rebroadcast. You can, I would be broadcasting to the Cepi dot if they weren't there. If it was on your,
Like if I can't imprint it, like
Right.
if it's like gone.
If the Cepi dot, for those that don't know, this is a Cepi dot. And you can imprint into a Cepi dot and you can place
Right.
it anywhere. Now, if your son was, you knew this Cepi dot was in college with your son and you didn't have access to it, you could take a picture of it and send it to that.
Okay.
And it would work that way.
That's what I thought I could do. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he doesn't have to know it's there, right? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, because it's in his room, you're thinking?
I don't know. I'm just kind
Yeah.
of kidding. So
Kind of,
here's
sort
a
of.
Christmas gift, son. But don't look underneath. Thank
Anyone
you.
else have any other questions?
I just want to say that the imprinting setting frequencies to even a house really works because we had another ant infestation.
Mm,
And and even though it wasn't accurate where I was sending the frequency to, I think it really helped to for it to go away because like on one side of the house we used the ant bait. On the other side, I had nothing else but peppermint oil, but it kept
mhm.
coming back. But then I kept sending frequencies as well. So
Yeah.
um
Yeah, here's the
yes,
list.
that one.
It works really good.
Everybody should have this list. How about for gophers? Oh, I should do that. Ground squirrels came back. I just saw two. Are they considered
So,
insects or
so I would do Verma plus for them because they're like vermins.
really? Okay.
I would just add Verma to it.
Okay.
However, what I would also do is go to YouTube
Uh-huh.
and we had a mouse situation and I would do gopher frequencies
Okay.
and uh, they have it for squirrels, they have it for rodents. It would probably work on a rodent.
Yeah,
And
they were
literally
saying,
having wherever you think they are,
yeah.
have them have this playing like on an iPad or an extra thing and just have it playing.
And I would take a picture where the mounds are. You know how the gophers like they make those mounds? Like
Uh,
what
oh,
would be
they're in
the
your
best?
yard?
Yeah. Breaking up my yard again.
Yeah, I would have it somewhere out there near them.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you're saying to put
Put it in
my
the location.
device and play it there?
Mhm. If you're
Mm,
doing this, you can send, you can do it this way by taking a picture of the mounds on your house and then,
that's what I was thinking.
yeah.
So
But
take a picture,
the
put it that.
combination of doing this
Yeah.
and for mouse, I would just add Verma plus, and this works really, really well. Much quicker than just this.
Can I take a picture of that, please? Oh no, of your.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
I'm gonna do both.
we had one year we have like city squirrels. They're rats. They're not squirrels like in the forest. And we had a mama who had babies, and my husband blames me for this. And one of the babies fell out of the nest, and it was just like sitting there. And like, I can't kill a baby, so called animal control. They're like, go to YouTube and play baby squirrels calling for the mama. And we did. I put my phone out there. I was watching inside the house. Less than 30 seconds, the mother squirrel came down, grabbed the baby squirrel, and then the baby squirrel like came to life and then went up. And then that fall, like a few months later, we had squirrels in our wall, right? So he'd blame me. There was a baby squirrel that I saved that was now in our wall. So then we did the same thing except in our wall. So it's funny.
Oh my gosh. We had some in our walls too.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Any other questions? Was this helpful?
Yeah, very helpful. Thank you.
I am going to be doing a 2.5 hour webinar in January, going into more of these types of things, kind of identifying motions and stuff like that. So if you want to register, you can. There it is. It's free, no charge. It's just like this though, like on camera, we're going to be going into groups and stuff like that, and just kind of like diving into more things. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for participating and being on camera and being here.
Nadia.
Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have good holidays if I don't talk to you.
You do.
You.
Thank you.
Bye.